Welcome to the beautiful city of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The Red Sox are north of the border and at Rogers Centre with the roof open. It's game one of a four-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox take on a very good Toronto Blue Jays team. They're just a game back in the American League East. And, Jerry, we know this. They can hit.
Well, it's been the offense that really has carried this club all season long. And when you look around Major League Baseball, they lead in a number of categories offensively. Look at the average fifth at 266, RBIs first, home runs third in all of baseball with 98 total, and runs scored first with 420. A plus 88 run differential this season. That's the best in the American League by far amongst all American League teams. So, offense, and we got a good example of that when they were at Fenway Park last time, how comfortable they were swinging the bats against the Red Sox. So it's going to be a real challenge for Clay Buchholz tonight. You got to deal with guys like Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, all guys that can change a game in a hurry.
Well, the Red Sox off to a good start on this road trip, taking 2 out of 3 from Tampa Bay. We have a good pitching matchup tonight. As Clay Buchholz on the mound for the Red Sox, Clay Buchholz has always pitched well here in Toronto, a 2.30 ERA, matched up against R.A. Dickey, the former NL Cy Young Award winner. Back with the first pitch after this. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Audi. Experience the new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. Nissan, get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Welcome back to the Rogers Centre in Toronto. The umpires headed to home plate to exchange the lineups. But before we get it started, let's send it down to Garen Austin. Garen?
Returned to Boston yesterday to undergo more testing. There was positive news today from manager John Farrell, who said the MRI results showed nothing new and that Ramirez will rejoin the team.
Didn't reveal any new findings than that of the CAT scan and the X-ray taken last week. So Hanley's en route back to rejoin us, and we're hopeful to begin a hitting progression once he returns. We'll see how the next day to 3 days goes, and the optimistic view is he'd be back in the lineup while we're here in Toronto. The swelling has diminished even through the weekend, and yet he didn't feel completely confident that everything was cleared up in there. But I think the MRI has given him some peace of mind that there's nothing structurally going on. He's dealing with some soreness with the bone bruise and maybe a little bit of residual swelling that's there. But I think more than anything, a little peace of mind that structurally he's good allows him to move through the hitting progression.
Okay, Jerry, well, my question is, he is not going to play, obviously, when he comes back here in this situation. Does it not make more sense to perhaps put him on the DL right now? You're dealing with a bench that has Swihart, Marrero, and Ramirez you can't use, it appears.
I thought there was a possibility they may make a move in the pitching department today, maybe out of the bullpen and bring up a position player just for a couple of days till Hanley's back. But they have a very short bench. I mean, you're talking, you can't use Hanley Ramirez. Swihart you really can't use because you need him as a backup. So you're down to Devin Marrero. That's it. So they are really using a skeleton crew to start this series against the Toronto Blue Jays.
Now Clay Buchholz, who pitches well here in Toronto, got a win last time out and getting ready here with the roof open. It is a beautiful day today in Toronto, so the roof is open for the first of this 4-game series. Now look at the season versus Toronto and a look at what has taken place so far this year.
Well, the ugly part was the series at home where the Red Sox got swept in that series, 13-10, 5-4, and 13-5. And Eduardo Rodriguez getting his first loss against the Toronto Blue Jays. And, you know, the Blue Jays right now, it's offense. And we talked about that in the open. They're pitching decent, and their bullpen is decent, but their offense is spectacular.
Now the Blue Jays have taken the field here. John Gibbons' team just a game back in the American League East to start action tonight. Baltimore on top of the AL East. Well, the Jays on the field, so let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup. It is brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts leading it off and in center field with Brock Holt at second base, batting second. Xander Bogaerts in the 3 spot as he has been since the absence of Dustin Pedroia. David Ortiz, the DH, with Pablo Sandoval at third base. Mike Napoli at first base, bat 6 with Alejandro De Aza in left field. Sandy Leon does the catching as he has been this season for Clay Buchholz, and it is Jackie Bradley Jr. who bats 9th and plays in right field. Blue Jays starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. R.A. Dickey on the hill for his 16th start of the year. 3-7 the record with a 4.88 earned run average. 96 innings so far in the year. 60 strikeouts, 37 walks, and opponents hitting at .251 against R.A. Dickey. This year in 3 starts against the Red Sox, not been able to beat him. He is 0-2, the 6.16 earned run average against Boston. And Red Sox hitters hitting at .286 against Dickey.
The Blue Jays defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are 6th in the league with 41 errors in 77 games. Josh Donaldson will be at third base. Jose Reyes, the shortstop. Devin Travis at second, and Chris Colabello at first. Left to right, Ryan Goins, Kevin Pillar, and Jose Batista, and Russell Martin doing the catching for R.A. Dickey.
Tonight's umpires are brought to you by Buick. Experience a new Buick lineup during this year's Sign and Drive. See your local Buick dealer today. Tony Randazzo has a plate. Will Little at first. Phil Cuzzy at second, and the crew chief Jerry Davis at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. SAP is presented by Diplomatico Rum. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, the first pitch of the ball game to Mookie Betts is in there for strike one, and we are underway. Mookie hitting at .268 coming in. That's a foul it off the catcher, Russell Martin. 8 homers, 34 runs batted in to go along with that .268 average for Mookie Betts. They'll be followed by Brock Holt and Xander Bogaerts here in the first inning. Well, a year ago today, Mookie Betts made his major league debut for the Red Sox. Swing and a miss as he strikes out here against R.A. Dickey. I mentioned a beautiful day here today in Toronto. Roof open at the Rogers Center. 72 degrees. Breeze in from right at 6 miles per hour. Forecast partly cloudy as the sun sets off to the left here of the Rogers Center. One down in the first inning on a strikeout of Betts, and it brings up Brock Holt. On the ground, and the shortstop, Reyes, long throw, off balance, and a very good stretch by Colabello at first base. They're able to get Holt 2 down.
A very athletic play there by Jose Reyes. I mean, Reyes, when he wants to play, is one of the top shortstops in the American League. There's no question about that. Backhanded play, the sidearm throw going away from first base, gets plenty on it. And as you mentioned, Don, at the end of the play, Colabello with a very nice stretch.
So 2 down here in the first inning brings up Xander Bogaerts. 294 to start the night for Xander. 3 homers and 31 runs driven in. Bogaerts 4 for 13 in the series in Tampa Bay.
Well, for those who have not seen R.A. Dickey before, he's a knuckleball pitcher, throws the knuckleball hard, also with a fastball.
Strike called, 2-1.
And there is that fastball at the bottom of the strike zone away from Bogaerts.
Xander coming in with a 5-game hitting streak at 381 during the last 5 games. And ahead in the count, 3-1.
See the fastball up at 84 miles an hour for R.A. Dickey. 1 is the knuckleball.
On the ground to shortstop, Jose Reyes sidearms into first base, and it's a 1-2-3 first inning for R.A. Dickey. The Blue Jays are coming up. Back at the Rogers Center in Toronto, the Red Sox don't score in the top of the first inning. Blue Jays coming up, and Jose Reyes about to lead it off here for the Blue Jays. Buckholz ready with the first pitch to Reyes, and it's in there for strike 1. Reyes at 268 coming in. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. 16th appearance, 5-6 with a 3.68 ERA. 266 opponents batting average against Buckholz, and this one laced foul into the seats down the right field line. Last start for Clay on Wednesday against Baltimore, victory. 7 innings, giving up 1 run, walk, and 7 strikeouts.
On a 3-game winning streak right now with a couple of no decisions mixed in.
Elevates and misses to Reyes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Buchholz a little frustrated with that last delivery. Reyes, since coming off the DL on May the 25th, 276 average. Swing and a miss. He chases and strikes out. Let's check out the rest of the Blue Jays starting 9 tonight. It's brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Saw Jose Reyes, he's the shortstop, and Josh Donaldson at third base. Jose Bautista in right field with Edwin Encarnacion, the DH. Chris Colabello at first base, the Mass native, with Russell Martin doing the catching. Kevin Pillar in center. Devin Travis at second base, bats 8th, and Ryan Goins in left field rounds out the starting 9 for the Jays. 1 down for Josh Donaldson. Really, the addition of Donaldson and Russell Martin have been huge additions to this Blue Jays team this year. A team that comes in at 41 and 36, a game back of Baltimore and Tampa Bay, who are top the American League East. Of course, Russell Martin, a Canadian native. We will be here for Canada Day on Wednesday, a day game during the week.
Yeah, first time I think I've ever been up here for Canada Day, so I'm looking forward to it on Wednesday. Day game here from the Rogers Center.
Buchholz ahead here, 0-2. In there for strike 3. Donaldson didn't think so and stands in the box, but he'll take with him the second strikeout of the night for Clay Buchholz.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and they had 9th in the American League, 45 errors in 77 games. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. Brock Holt at second. And Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Alejandro De Aza, Mookie Betts, and Jackie Bradley Jr. And Sandy Leon doing the catching for Buchholz.
So 2 down here in the first inning. It brings up Jose Bautista. 243 average for Bautista. 15 homers, 50 runs batted in. Will pop it up foul, backing out of play.
Where are you going now? That ball was not even close to us.
I thought it had a chance.
We're 10 miles from the action.
Well, I thought it had a chance. I thought, kind of in here like a bunker. There's a beam above us. I thought it was going to ricochet off that and right into my mouth.
That was not even close.
No?
Not even close.
Okay. So I was worried for no reason, as it turns out. I was bailing out. As Bautista may have went, he did.
See, that's what you got to do to this lineup. I'm a firm believer that you got to pitch these guys inside. I'm not talking about drilling guys and knocking guys down, but getting way in to create some more plate for yourself, because when they get comfortable, they can do a lot of damage. You got to make them uncomfortable.
He follows it up with a pitch down and away, but in the dirt.
Comes way inside against Bautista, off the plate, as you can see right there. And then he follows up with a pitch away, the cut fastball away, but not close enough for Bautista to swing.
On the ground, sharply to short. Bogaerts corrals it and throws to first. Good stretch there by Napoli, kept the foot in the bag. Down in order go the Blue Jays, done with 1 without a score. Head to the top of the second inning. Both teams going down in order in the first inning. R.A. Dickey back on the mound to deal with David Ortiz, Pablo Sandoval, and Mike Napoli here in the inning. And Dickey struck out Betts, got Holt and Bogarts, ground out to shortstop. Well, drop in there for a strike, and it is a ball and a strike. David Ortiz gave the Red Sox a 4-0 lead with a 2-run home run in the fourth inning yesterday, and tried to hold up there but went around.
That looked like it got the top of the strike zone anyway. Ortiz not happy about the call, but I believe it might have been a strike anyway.
All-time ranks at the Rogers Center. 32 doubles, 37 home runs, 69 extra base hits. That one floats down and in and evens the count at 2-2. Sandoval on deck, then Napoli here as part of the Red Sox second inning. Shift on here for the Blue Jays on the right side of the infield. Well, take advantage of specially priced Red Sox student tickets. Tickets are available for every Sox game for just $9 for all students 15 and over. Visit redsox.com/students to take advantage of this great offer today. Ortiz pops it up foul off to the left and out of play.
Ortiz, very good numbers, 360 against R.A. Dickey with 3 career home runs.
David hitting at 370 this year against the Blue Jays as a team. And he slaps another one foul.
And see that Dickey changes speeds with that knuckleball. The last one at 83, he'll throw some in the 70s. I've seen him throw it as high as 80 miles an hour.
On the ground, foul outside of first base. Well, David had a home run against R.A. Dickey at Fenway Park earlier this season when the Blue Jays were at Fenway. Two-two pitch. A little bit low. Maybe they'll see a 10th pitch in this at bat. A good battle here to begin the second inning. Russell Marr doing the catching for R.A. Dickey. Ortiz with a hot shot picked by Colabello. Nicely done off the artificial surface and tags the bag ahead of the arrival of Ortiz.
Well, that was a bullet by David Ortiz, but Colabello right there makes a fantastic play. Watch the reactions as he goes from the ground up with his glove and is able to take it himself. That ball hit so hard that Ortiz had no opportunity. He was about halfway down the line by the time Colabello got to first base.
One down here in the second inning. Pablo Sandoval jumping on the first pitch, fouls it back.
I was not here last time we were in Toronto, or the first time I should say, and I went down to check out that new turf today that they have put in this year, and it's very, very soft.
There are two things. Swing and a miss that we found the first time that we were here. There are many seams, number one.
Yes.
You can see that from up here especially.
Yeah, it looks like the old turf in the infield.
A lot of seams which change the direction of the baseball, and the rubberized black stuff that pops up, some players getting it in their eyes at times. There is more here in the beginning until it gets settled apparently. And there were some infielders complaining about that. Now you do see it also in Tampa Bay, but not to the degree you see it here with this brand new surface in for the first year in Toronto.
No, that will all level off in time, you know, under use. There's no question about that, but it is probably the closest to grass speed-wise that you're going to get from an artificial surface.
Yeah, in fact, some of the balls are dying to the outfield that it is so high at times. Is on the ground up the middle, and to his left is Reyes. Throw in time to get Sandoval 2 down.
How in the world did Sandoval make contact on that ball? That ball, I believe, was over his head.
We've said that a few times.
I honestly believe that ball was over his head. And somehow he gets on top of it and hits it on the ground. I mean, look at this baseball.
He was off the ground.
He was on his tiptoes and got his hands above the ball to hit it on the ground. Incredible.
2 down here in the second inning. I guess if it's high, let it fly.
Wow,
I guess,
that's letting it fly there, isn't it? I think there's a limit to that, though, somewhere. Yeah. There's some kind of unwritten rule just about high.
Over your head's
to
too
let it
high.
Fly. Yeah.
Pitch outside for ball 2. And Mike Napoli's average at 203 coming in. And a pop-up foul off to the right evens the count at 2-2. Well, calling all Bruins fans, tune in to the Bruins Summer Face-Off Live Wednesday at 5. Andy Brickley and Billy Jaffe will have live coverage of the opening to NHL free agency. Bruins Summer Face-Off Live is presented by your local New England Nissan dealers. 30th pitch for Dickey. And a check swing. Ball gets away. And it was called a ball as Napoli thought it might have been called a strike.
And then they wanted a check on the swing, and the first base umpire Little said no, there was no swing. There's no question he checked the swing, and I don't believe the pitch. Napoli didn't know what to do. Should I head to first base or not? And I think he looked down and saw Little give him the safe sign, so he was all right.
Ball 4, first base runner of the game for the Red Sox, Mike Napoli, with a 2-out walk here in the second inning. Alejandro De Aza coming up. Aza 241, 6 homers, 18 runs batted in. Gave the Red Sox a 2-0 lead yesterday. The home run in the second inning, part of Sunday's win against the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday. Also had a single in the 9th inning, so a couple of hits yesterday, and he drives this one foul. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Back up the middle into center field, a base hit. And touching second is Napoli. He will stay there on the single by De Aza. First hit of the night for Boston.
And De Aza now with a 5-game hitting streak. He came into the game 364 against R.A. Dickey. That knuckleball there didn't do very much. It was pretty flat. And right up over the glove of Dickey into center field. So the Red Sox get a man in a scoring position with 2 outs.
See how that ball slows down to the outfielder?
It does. It really does.
There's Sandy Leon batting with 2 on, 2 outs. This is down the right field line for Leon towards the pole, and this will be a foul ball. At the distance, but to the right of the pole.
Well, Sandy Leon making a bid down that right field line. For a second, I thought it was going to stay fair, but it hooks right toward the end and goes in foul territory. Ooh, that was a nice one to hit, too. That one was pretty flat and stayed inside, but far enough inside where Leon pulls it foul.
And that's with Napoli at second. De Aza at first, 2 down here in the second inning. Swing and a miss, and it gets away. Runners are going to advance. Napoli to third, De Aza to second. Sprawling to grab that was Russell Martin.
That probably goes a pass ball against Martin. We'll see. But two men now in scoring position for the Red Sox on the swing and the ball getting by Martin. He hustles after it, but by that time it's too late. Two men move up.
It is a pass ball. Gets Napoli to third. De Aza to second. Leon with a swing and a miss. Strikes out. Red Sox lead 2 in scoring position. Inning and a half done. No score from Toronto. First inning for Clay Buchholz. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Here is Edwin Encarnacion to lead it off here for the Jays. Encarnacion, Colabello, and Martin expected to face Clay Buchholz through 13 first inning pitches. Join the Red Sox on Friday for a special Independence Day celebration pyrotechnic show. Following the game against the Astros, make sure to stick around for the pyrotechnic show for all ticket fans. Visit redsox.com for tickets today. This event is weather and time permitting.
That'll be fun, Don, for us to stay around after the game for.
Encarnacion, the DH for the Blue Jays, sitting at 243, 16 homers, 47 runs batted in. Pops it up right side. Napoli on the dirt portion will make the catch. So 4 in a row by Clay Buchholz, retired to start his outing. And that'll bring up Chris Colabello. Colabello at 337. 6 homers, 28 runs batted in. Takes the curveball for strike 1. Colabello, born in Framingham, Massachusetts, resides in Milford, Mass. during the offseason. Attended Assumption College in Worcester, graduating in 2005. Previous major league experience with the Minnesota Twins. Parts of 2 years, but nowhere near the success he's enjoying here with the Blue Jays this year.
He's been a force in this Blue Jay lineup, really, batting average wise and driving in runs. 28 runs batted in on the season. Nice fit into this lineup for the Blue Jays, and you already highlighted some of the other nice fits.
That'll bounce in for ball 1, 1-2. Russell Martin, part of those good fits here for the Blue Jays, waiting on deck. And Colabello just waved at that fastball. Baffled on it. Third strikeout for Clay Buchholz.
Nice two-seam fastball here by Buchholz. After a couple of pitches away, he goes back inside. And again, kind of a weak swing there by Colabello on that two-seam fastball inside.
Two down here in the second inning for Russell Martin. Martin at 268, 11 homers, 37 runs batted in. It over foul and evens a count of 1-1. Well, NESN is proud to support the National Suit Drive in July. When you make a donation of gently used professional clothing at any Men's Warehouse location, you help unemployed men and women look their best as they re-enter the workforce. Learn more at nationalsuitdrive.com. Inside for ball 2.
I like the fact that Buchholz has come inside on a number of occasions in the first couple of innings to some of these Blue Jay hitters with that two-seam fastball. Cut fastball away.
2-2.
Not exactly where he wanted it, but he did get the swing and miss.
Martin has been struggling at the plate. One hit in his last 15 at bats. He was an incredible season series against the Red Sox, 379. And did he get hit? He says he got hit, and the umpire agrees with him. Red Sox think it might have been the bat, but he's headed down to first base. John Farrell trying to get confirmation whether or not he's going to challenge this.
Now let's take another look and see if we can tell. Hard to tell from that angle right there, but Martin pointing right to his hand. Wow, looked like maybe the knob of the bat.
Yep. Had that sound to it, too.
It did. It had the bat sound to it.
Umpires are getting together here as a group.
That ball roll in the fair territory?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
I think it did. Let's take another look at where the ball ends up. If it did hit the bat, I think it goes into fair territory.
They are going to check this out.
I think just for the heck of it, they probably should have tagged Martin. Buchholz coming in, and he goes, does he tag him or not?
I don't think he did. That's when he turned and talked to Tony Randazzo, and now they are on the headsets here. They got together as a group first, the 4 umpires. They're now seeing it on the big board here.
Yeah, it's hard to tell on the big board in center field. I always see the umpires looking out at the scoreboard, and that's really the only place they have to look in the field. But it's very difficult to pick up these replays, I should say, on the scoreboards in the ballpark.
They have a quick decision, and he's going to be at first base, hit by the pitch. So a hit batsman with 2 outs. The Red Sox out of challenges here in the second inning tonight. Here's Kevin Pillar hitting at .270. 6 homers, 35 runs batted in. A great series at Fenway Park. Red Sox were home, and see why the Blue Jays are excited about him.
Got very good speed, 12 steals on the season, batting .270. Driven in 35 runs, 6 home runs.
6 outfield assists on the year from the outfield. Foul tip off of Leon. So Blue Jays have their first base runner of the game, and it's a hit batsman. And Russell Martin, who's at first with 2 down. Mookie Betts into right center. Good size gap out there in left center field. Throw to first, and diving back is Martin.
Yeah, he'll take off every once in a while. He's got 4 steals on the season. He has been caught 3 times. So if you completely forget about him, he will run.
Line to left field, towards the left field corner. Russell Martin speeding his way around to be stopped at third. Got the late notice from the third base coach, and now he's going to be out on the tag. He was going to try and score. Third base coach Louis Rivera went up with the stop sign, and he almost ran through it, but then had to slide to stop himself, and the Red Sox get the ball back in and tag him out to end the inning. So fortunate for Boston there. No score at the end of 2.
A strange play to end last inning. Piazza getting it back in to Bogarts. They'll throw to Sandoval. He'll run down Russell Martin, but Martin was rounding third base. He thought he was going to get waved home, and the third base coach put the brakes on. Martin fell down, and then when he got up, he couldn't get back to the bag in time. There's the slip right there. He's trying to stop because he sees the sign, and then he can't get back to the bag. So I put that one on the third base coach. He's got to give him a little bit earlier warning, I think, than that. Martin did everything he did. He went into a slide to try to stop, and then he just could not get back in time. The Red Sox heads up, Xander Bogaerts in particular, getting the ball to Sandoval to tag him out.
Now Jackie Bradley Jr. leading it off here in the third inning. Scoreless ball game so far. Pitch 40 for R.A. Dickey is in there for a strike. Bradley didn't think so. Bradley, Betts, and Holt face R.A. Dickey here in the third inning. Jackie Bradley 1 for 10 in the series against Tampa Bay. Three for 14 overall since his recall from AAA Pawtucket prior to Thursday's game against Baltimore. And he will get himself a leadoff walk to begin things here in the third inning. Second free pass served up by R.A. Dickey. Ace Ticket is the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. One on, nobody out. Mookie Betts the batter. Strikeout victim in the first inning. One of two strikeouts for R.A. Dickey tonight.
One thing about facing a knuckleball pitcher as far as putting plays on, I mean, the steal is the most obvious because the ball is so difficult to catch. Hit and run is almost impossible because you can't bank on, you know, making contact with the knuckleball, so you don't see much of that.
The first and back is Jackie Bradley Jr. But you can steal on a knuckleballer.
Well, you can try. I mean, you know, Martin's been great behind the plate. 39% of the runners he's thrown out. But you always try because if you can run a little bit, because, you know, a lot of times that catcher just drops the ball.
On the ground to the vacated right side. First, Bradley had to jump up over it to avoid contact and take second base on the single by Mookie Betts.
A good job by Betts going to the opposite field. He chops at this ball right there and finds that hole between first and second. Bradley jumps over it and he has to stop at second base. So Red Sox quickly with a couple of men on, nobody out here in the third.
Red Sox left runners at second and third in the second inning when Leon struck out. Holt grounded to short in the first inning. Holt was 2 for 12 in the series against Tampa Bay. Now 2 for his last 13. Foul tipped and a ball and a strike.
Donaldson in close at third base, inside the line, the chalk line. Just in case there's a bunt from Holt. I wouldn't bunt at this stage of the game. I'd let him swing and hope for a big inning, really, because when you play in this Toronto ball club, you got to score runs.
Outside for ball 3. Now a patient Red Sox team. Walk for Bradley. They sit for Betts. Now Holt ahead in the count 3-1. Popped up foul off to the left out of play. Full count.
He got his fastball. You know, you see so many knuckleballs that when the fastball comes, even though it's not that hard, sometimes you're late on it. And that time Brock Holt was late on the 3-1 fastball from R.A. Dickey.
Fourth full count for R.A. Dickey. And there's ball 4 to load the bases with nobody out. Third walk given up by Dickey. And a great opportunity here for the Red Sox. Gibbons looking on. R.A. Dickey 3-7 on the year coming in to tonight's outing. The 40-year-old right-hander. Bases filled with Red Sox. Nobody out in the third. Xander Bogaerts the batter. 1.
And we talk about how tough it is to catch the knuckleball. It's also tough on home plate umpires. You really have to concentrate and follow that ball right in.
Bogarts to right field. Bautista going back. He will not make the catch. It'll one-hop the wall. From third, Bradley scores. Mookie Betts coming around to score. It's a 2-run double for Xander Bogaerts, and the Red Sox take a 2-0 lead. Quickly over the head of Jose Bautista and right. And Bogaerts drives in a pair.
Well, Bogarts down with a 6-game hitting streak and a big hit here with the bases loaded. It didn't take long for this pitch to get over the head. It was a fastball that time from Dickey. From contact to get over the head of Jose Bautista in right field. Bautista started off like he had a beat on it, but then it just continued to carry.
Now Ortiz with a mighty swing.
Oh, he almost fell down. He was looking to put 3 quick ones on the board for the Red Sox with that swing.
Let's that one go by. 1-1. David grounded out sharply. Chris Colabello, the first baseman, in the second inning. 0 for 1 tonight. Popped up foul, and Ortiz wants that one back. Another chance to swing at that. It was a good pitch to hit.
Yeah. An elevated knuckleball just above the belt, and Ortiz fouls it back. You see the location of that knuckleball. A good pitch to hit. It really didn't dance very much.
You hear him yell from up here. Popped up left side. Donaldson, the third baseman, puts it away. First out of the inning. Ortiz pops out. One out for Pablo Sandoval.
Well, they say in most at bats you get at least 1 pitch to hit. That time Ortiz in that at bat had a couple of pitches to hit and could not drive the ball. Pops it up to third base.
Sandoval grounded to short in the second inning. Popped up shallow left. Reyes, Goins, Donaldson. Reyes, the shortstop, makes the catch, not deep enough to try it at third for Holt. The throw goes to the plate. So 2 big outs there for R.A. Dickey to get Ortiz and Sandoval.
Yeah, 2 pop-ups and really no chance on either one of them for anybody to score. If you're going to hit a fly ball, you got to get it deep enough to the outfield and get at least 1 run home. First pitch swing was Sandoval, and there's Reyes taking control and quickly getting it back in just in case Holt tried to score.
Two down for Mike Napoli. Walk for Napoli in the second inning. First of 3 allowed tonight by R.A. Dickey. Holt at third, Bogaerts at second. Foul down the right field line.
Red Sox really need a big 2-out base hit here from Napoli because, you know, you got that second and third, nobody out. You got a chance to open up a game to 4-0 early. Big at bat for Napoli.
Napoli here at the Rogers Center back in May had a home run off R.A. Dickey, one of his 10 on the year. Now the 2-1, he takes inside, 3-1. Brock Holt at third, Xander Bogaerts at second. And a foul off to the right, full count now.
He stays with the knuckleball there on the 3-1 count, and it was a pretty good one to hit too. Again, it was not a dancer. A little bit flat. Napoli has a good swing but fouls it back.
Napoli pops it up. Third pop up in a row to the left side, and Donaldson will put it away. The Red Sox do get 2 out of it, though. Take a 2-0 lead after 2.5. Two 2-0 Red Sox have the lead by virtue of the 2 runs they score in the top half of this, the 3rd inning. Devin Travis with his first at bat of the ball game, and he will take a ball from Clay Buchholz. Travis at 266 coming in, 7 homers, 27 runs batted in. Travis, Goins, and Reyes expected in the inning. 8-9-1 for the Jays. Broken bat, flare to right, that will fall. A base hit for Travis to open up this 3rd inning.
That cut fastball from Buchholz right toward the end of the bat, cracked the bat, but the ball drops in front of Jackie Bradley Jr. for the base hit. So Travis, who missed quite a bit of time on a disabled list, back playing second base for the Blue Jays.
Leadoff base hit, the 2nd hit of the night for the Toronto Blue Jays, and here is Ryan Goins. Had 5 RBIs in a game at Fenway Park back on June the 14th. 5 of the 23 he has on the year.
Couple of steals for Travis on the season. He has not been caught. Now Goins, you know, one of the reasons I think he's in a lineup tonight, a .474 average against Buchholz.
And at 3rd is Sandoval in case. Goins not afraid to drop down the occasional bunt. Another throw over, a little closer this time, but back to the bag is Travis.
And not an exceptionally big lead over at first base for Travis. Can get a little bit more if he's getting back in standing up like that.
Strike 1. It's time for tonight's Twisted but True Fact. Ryan Goins, 23 RBIs this season. 10 of them have come against the Red Sox. Twisted tea is the hard iced tea. Tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Lead runner on here for the Blue Jays in the 3rd inning. 1-1 pitch to Goins. Fouled off to the left out of play.
When I talk about a 474 average, I mean he's 9 for 19, so it's more than a small sample size against Buckles.
Sure, Clay's well aware of that. Fouled off to the left, out of play. There are the numbers in the breakdown against Buckholz for Goins. Top of the order, Jose Reyes waiting on deck for the Blue Jays. Evan Travis with a single to begin the inning, held on to first by Napoli. Fouled off again. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Give you a free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSN. A 1-2 pitch. Jumping back out of the way was Goins in the dirt at 93. Colts with a 2.30 earned run average at the Rogers Center. Best ever among pitchers with at least 14 starts here. On the ground, foul. Napoli for good measure picking it up, but a foul ball. It's time to vote for your Red Sox All-Stars. Vote on the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot at redsox.com today. Voting ends on Thursday, so get your vote in now. It is almost time for the All-Star Game, and of course this year will be in Cincinnati. Throw to first, and back to the bag diving this time is Travis.
That was a good throw back to first base, because Travis to me looked like he increased his lead just a little bit and had a lot of weight on his right leg. You see he's a little more comfortable now. He's getting a bigger lead at first.
On the ground, foul again. Battle continues here for Ryan Goins. First full count of the night for Clay Buchholz.
Yeah, one of the toughest at bats of the night put on by the number 9 hitter in the lineup.
See his 10th pitch of this at bat.
Buchholz wants the changeup.
Runner goes, going, swings and misses. Throw down to second and out at second base. So strike him out, throw him out, double play.
I'll tell you what, Leon is very impressive throwing out base runners. This is a changeup on a 3-2 count with the runner off, and look how quickly he gets rid of that ball. Now it sails on him, but it got there in time for Bogaerts to put the tag on Travis. Sandy Leon has been very impressive behind the plate throwing out base runners. Came into the game at 53%.
Make your insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 down in the inning. Jose Reyes now bats with the bases empty. Struck out swinging in the first inning. Pops it up foul. That'll get into the seats off to the left. Josh Donaldson waiting on deck. 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Breaking ball in there for strike 2.
Good spot for that breaking ball from Buchholz, away from Reyes. Keeps it outside. A 12-6 job that stays on the outside part of the plate.
Down the left field line, foul and out of play. Struck out swinging in the 1st inning. 1 of 4 strikeouts so far tonight for Clay Buchholz. In the air to center field. Playable for Mookie Betts. Out number 3 of the 3rd inning. We head to the 4th. Clay Buchholz and the Red Sox have a 2-0 lead. It's great, especially when all you have to do to get $100 is open an Eastern free checking account. Learn more at easternbank.com/free checking. First pitch swinging and fouling it off to the left is Alejandro De Aza. Already Dickey back on the mound. Red Sox on top 2-0. De Aza with a single to center in the 2nd inning. 1 of 3 hits for the Red Sox in the game off Dickey. Check swing foul there. Piazza has 3 home runs in the last 4 games as he fouls it off to the left. That's his total from the first 45 games of the year. On the ground this time, right side. Evan Travis throws out De Aza. We'll get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. 1 out in the 4th inning for Sandy Leon. Came up in the 2nd. Runners at second and third, and struck out swinging against R.A. Dickey. Dickey's now retired 4 Red Sox in a row. Jackie Bradley Jr. on deck. R.A. Dickey's Cy Young Award winning season with the New York Mets in 2012. His last year with the Mets was 20-6 with a 2.73 earned run average. Logged 233 and 2/3 innings that year and 230 strikeouts. Soft ground ball down the first baseline. Dickey's got a cover. He does. They go glove to glove. And just to get Leon. Nice play there. 2 down.
Yeah, that was close right there. Glove to glove, and it was very close. He was only about a couple of feet away from the pitcher when he made that flip.
It's time now for the Geico Red Sox moment all season long. Geico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary and their 78th game of the 75 season. Sox lost to the Indians 12-2. Buddy Bell homered twice and drove in 6 runs for the Indians. Jackie Bradley Jr. takes strike 1. Walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Fouled off the mask of Russell Martin.
That pitch way inside almost hit Jackie Bradley Jr. and he swings at it and fouls it off. Ball kept going back in to Bradley.
R.A. Dickey thought he had strike 3, but that's not a strike. 2-2.
A little bit high.
Started towards the dugout. Tony Randazzo has a plate tonight, calling the balls and strikes. Strikes out Bradley now, though. Picks up his 3rd strikeout to 3.5. Red Sox have a 2-0 lead. At Eastern Bank, being first feels like $100. Just open an Eastern free checking account in the month of June and you'll get $100. There's a ground ball right side. Brock Holt to his left. For the first out of the inning. Josh Donaldson retired on one pitch. One down, bring up Jose Bautista. Bautista grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning. $15 home runs so far in the year for Bautista. And therefore, strike one. That'll bounce in. Albert Pujols leading the American League in home runs with 23 for the Angels. Giancarlo Stanton leading the majors on the DL right now. High hop at short. Bogarts goes up to get it, and the throw is a good one to get Bautista. Nice play there by Bogarts. Tonight's poll question is presented by the Scion TC. Which Canadian city should be next to get an MLB team? Text Sox 1 for Calgary. Text Sox 2 for Montreal. Text Sox 3 for Vancouver. Text 4 for other. Text your answer to 536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions as well as privacy policy.
I say add one in the American League and one in the National League.
To third and Sandoval. Across the diamond. Dug out by Napoli in the dirt. Nicely done by Napoli. 3 ground ball outs and a 1-2-3-4 for Buchholz. A 2-0 Red Sox lead. Top half of the 5th inning. Mookie Betts leading it off. That struck out in the first inning. Single to right in the third. Scored a run. Red Sox with a 2-0 advantage. Betts will foul the first pitch back.
I was going to say, Don, put Montreal in the American League and Vancouver in the National League.
I'm on board with that. Never been to Vancouver, but they tell me it is beautiful.
I never have either.
All that far from Seattle.
I think Montreal's ready again.
Got to get the ballpark situation though figured out, because I don't think they go back to Olympic Stadium.
Oh no, please no.
Jays the last 2 years have played exhibition games here at the end of spring training, sold it out each time. Testing the waters again in Montreal. There's a ground ball foul.
I love the effort Butterfield gave that. At least he tried to make a play on it down there at third base. He didn't wave at it, you know. Taking it from the dugout right now.
Coach of the Blue Jays for a long time here. Down the right field line and foul. Six in a row retired by R.A. Dickey. So he starts this 5th inning. Fouled off again. He's going to throw a lot of pitches tonight. .64 through the first 3 innings. 79 through 4. Pitch 86 coming up here. And it's to left. Ryan Goins on the run, not going to get there. One hops the wall out there. Mookie Betts is thinking 3. He will head towards third base. The throw is going to be late and slides in with a triple to begin the top of the 5th inning. Mookie Betts showing off some pretty impressive speed there around the bases.
Yeah, you know, and he came into this game 1 for his last 12. Had been a little bit of a dip for him, but now 2 for 3 in this one, a single and a no doubt triple. He knows this on contact. That ball's going to go in the gap, and Mookie Betts makes this decision all by himself. He doesn't need help from a third base coach because he's got the play in front of him. Goins tracks it down, and by the time they get it back in, Betts at third base with the leadoff triple. Just checking himself, and he knows he's got that kind of speed. They appeal at second base, but the umpire says safe. Phil Cuzzy, the second base umpire, on the appeal.
Leadoff triple to begin things here in the 5th inning. Now Brock Holt. Infield in, and a little bloop into left field. Goins is not going to get there. Drops in for a hit. He fields it. Guns to second. So Holt puts on the brakes. Scoring from third is Mookie Betts. And the Red Sox take a 3-0 lead.
Now there's the one advantage of a bloop with the infield in, because if the infield was back in that situation, they may have had a chance to catch that. Reyes may have had a chance to make a play on it, but with the infield in, no chance. And you can see it's going to drop in front of Goins, and Mookie Betts scores without a problem. They do hold Holt to the single.
Xander takes strike 1. Grounded out to short in the first. Double to right to drive in 2 in the 3rd inning. The 2nd and 33rd RBI of the year. Call to strike. Xander didn't think so. On the ground towards second base. Travis will tag Holt, throw to first, gets a double play. Brock said they never got him at the second base umpire.
He's got to say went out of the baseline. Yeah,
right.
Watch Holt right at the last second there go out of the baseline to avoid the tag, and a throw to first base. I was awfully close at first base.
No challenges remaining for the Red Sox. Of course, they used that back in the 2nd inning, so nothing John Farrell can do about it. So 2 down. David Ortiz coming up. He's grounded out to first, popped out to third. This is one hopper. Third baseman Donaldson with the shift on. Throws out Ortiz, who's now 0 for 3. Red Sox get a run on the top of the fifth, halfway through. Boston on a top 3-0. Three to nothing. Red Sox had a run in the top half of the fifth inning. So on to the bottom of the fifth. 3-0 Boston. Chris Colabello leading it off here in the fifth. And Buchholz with his 52nd pitch of his outing. Struck out 4 in the game. Not walked anybody. Given up 2 hits. Double to Kevin Pillar. Single to Devin Travis. Struck out Colabello in the second inning. Now the curveball drops in there for strike 1.
That's a couple of good curveballs he's thrown to Colabello so far tonight.
Foul tip gets a piece of Sandy Leon. Not hurt. Walk it off. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation for its commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. In a row retired by Clay Buchholz.
Good pitch here by Buchholz. That was a changeup right at the bottom of the strike zone, but didn't get the call. Runs the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes, but a good pitch there from Clay. Try it again.
This time it's a strike, and Colabello strikes out for the second time. 5 strikeouts for Clay Buchholz. Let's check in with Garen.
Thanks, Don. Clay Buchholz and his wife Lindsay are hosting the 3rd annual Buchholz Bowl on July 6th. It's going to be a very fun night of bowling, food, and a live auction, and all the proceeds will benefit the Clay Buchholz Foundation. Now, you can actually win tickets and participate when you visit claybuchholz.org. Sorry, claybuchholzfoundation.org. All you have to do is flex for the kids, tag it, and post it on social media. Now, Don, Jerry, I know that you guys are up on Twitter, so I expect to see you flexing for the kids in your Twitter feeds.
One out here in the 5th inning.
What are we supposed to do on Twitter?
Supposed to flex on Twitter. You need to flex on one pitch. Well, the Buchholz Bowl, of course, had the Nomar Bowl, Beckett Bowl. Guys have taken on the bowling over the years as part of charity in the Red Sox organization. By Buchholz doing the same.
Fun night.
1-1 pitch coming to Russell Martin. A little frustrated that last delivery. Missing at 92 miles an hour. Wins the last 2 times out at Atlanta and at home against Baltimore. Pitch 60. That is strike 2. Russell Martin was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. Red Sox challenged that he was not hit by the pitch and then hit the knob of the bat, lost the challenge. Second full count of the night for Clay Buchholz. With Kevin Pillar waiting on deck. Martin to shallow left, sending Bogarts out. De Aza in to make the catch. Veering off was Bogarts. Avoided the collision there as De Aza makes the catch, and it's 7 in a row retired by Buchholz.
Buchholz really got inside that time on Martin. Fastball inside really tied him up in that shallow fly ball. And right at the end, De Aza calls off Bogarts. He peels off to the left and lets De Aza make the play.
2 down here in the 5th for Kevin Pillar. He's one of only 2 hits so far tonight for the Jays. Pillar with a double in the 2nd inning, and he fouls it straight back. Pillar doubled, but Russell Martin was thrown out, rounding 3rd base. On the brakes on. Red Sox got him in a run down. 7 to 6 to 5 on the putout. Actually tagged by Sandoval. Buchholz ahead 0-2.
Buchholz has had very good life on his fastball tonight. 93. He's been as high as 95 with it. Of course, mix in the 2-seamer and the cutter. Curveball changeup. He only wanted to go upstairs bad, but Buchholz wants a cutter.
On the ground, it's going to spin back fair again, and Napoli will apply the tag. Had all kinds of spin, started foul, came back fair. Napoli tags him out 8 in a row, retired by Buchholz, who's got a 3-0 lead. Nissan. Get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. The Scion TC. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Back inside the Rogers Center, 3-0. Red Sox have the lead. R.A. Dickey's pitching line is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. He's walked 3, struck out 3, and a pitch total of 92 pitches through the first 5 innings tonight. As he will deal with Sandoval, Napoli, and De Aza in the inning. Tonight's key matchup brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. 417 against Toronto for Pablo Sandoval. Pablo tonight has grounded to short, popped out to the shortstop, Jose Reyes. Again to Reyes. Right around the bag at second. It's Sandoval. Tomorrow in an all-new Red Sox report, go inside the draft room and catch up with the latest class of Red Sox scholars when this week's episode recaps the month of June. Don't miss the Red Sox report tomorrow at 5. One out in the 6th inning for Mike Napoli. Walk and a pop out to third base. First action we've seen in the Blue Jays bullpen. Liam Hendricks warming up. Last we saw the Blue Jays, Brett Cecil was closing games. The new closer here for the Jays, Roberto Osuna, now closing games.
Last time we saw the Blue Jays, too, we're hearing rumors that maybe they'd be getting Papelbon from Philadelphia. That has not happened, but they have switched closers.
Using Steve Delabar in the 8th inning now. So trying to figure out the back end of their bullpen, making a change on the fly. On the ground to short, Reyes. And there are 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Ground ball outs. Busy Jose Reyes at shortstop tonight. There's 12 ground ball outs for R.A. Dickey. Are you looking for ways to entertain employees or clients? Take them out for a night at Fenway Park to watch your beloved Red Sox. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. Two outs in the 6th inning. Alejandro De Aza trying to bunt his way on, fouls it off. How hard is it to bunt a knuckleball?
Very hard. Didn't do it very often. Didn't even try. And I don't really like that play with 2 outs. I prefer to see De Aza swing the bat because he swings the bat well against Dickey and has a chance to get in scoring position. Now, if you're going to bunt with 2 outs, you better have the speed to steal second base and get in scoring position. Trying to drop it down that third base line, but Donaldson, he was about even with the bag.
He thought he had strike 3. A close pitch, but called a ball. A couple of them where he started towards the dugout.
Yeah, that one was legitimate. That certainly had a chance to be called a strike.
Lined into left center field, a base hit for De Aza. Pilar will cut it off. De Aza's headed towards second base, and the throw to second. Alejandro De Aza's out. Trying to go to the infield side of the bag at second to elude the tag, but he is thrown out. Nice play by Pilar to get to it quickly out there. It's 3-0 Boston. Clay Buchholz's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5 innings, just 2 hits, no runs. Hasn't walked anybody, struck out 5. 65 pitches deep into his outing. Red Sox on top 3-0. Devin Travis leads it off and takes strike 1.
Now, that last play of last inning by Diaz, in my opinion, is not a bad play. He's trying to stretch a single into a double with 2 out, trying to get in the scoring position. Now, if you're down by 3 runs, that's a different story. It was a very good play by the center fielder Pilar. And you mentioned, how slow the ball slows up in the outfield. It really did that time. That's what normally here you see go by the outfielders.
There have been some complaints by players, especially early this year, about how slowly the ball getting to them in the outfield, having to charge much harder because it slows it down on the way out.
You got to play it like playing on a grass field. That's all.
Some feeling that it was even slower than the grass field. Evan Travis, Ryan Goins, and Jose Reyes here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Broken back grounder left side as Bogart's off balance throw is going to be not in time. Nice play by Bogarts. Good stretch by Napoli, but too much speed for Travis.
Yeah, they did all they could do. Bogarts got rid of it quickly. Napoli made a good stretch at first base, but too much speed going down the line by Travis. Well, that's another real close play at first base. We've had a ton of these just on this road trip.
Breaks up a string of 8 in a row, retired by Buchholz.
Well, Buchholz thought he had the out call, but now looks into the dugout.
And Goins struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Sandoval in at 3rd base. Goins chops it off the plate. Buchholz will flip to first for the out, as Travis takes 2nd base with 1 down. It's time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? Tom, thanks very much. Back here at the Rogers Center, where the Red Sox have a 3-0 advantage. Beautiful night in Toronto. The roof is open. And well pitched to this point of the game by Clay Buchholz. Devin Travis at 2nd. Jose Reyes, his 3rd at bat of the night, has struck out and fly to center. It's at 364 with runners in scoring position. As Travis at 2nd with 1 out in this inning. Fouls it off to the left. Josh Donaldson waiting on deck. Not often have the Blue Jays been stymied on the year. Right now, Buchholz has been able to do it to 5 1/3 innings. Fly ball to shallow left field. Bogart's going out. De Aza in, and De Aza takes charge and handles out number 2. They have sold for 3 tonight. Don't miss WB Base and Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Eck, and Steve Lyons will break down the game. You'll hear from Clay Buchholz and John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? 2 outs in the 6th inning. Devin Travis still at 2nd base, and here's Josh Donaldson. Struck out looking in the 1st, grounded out to 2nd in the 4th inning. On the ground down the line at 3rd by the dive of Sandoval. Around from second comes Travis. He'll score. 2-second with an RBI double as Donaldson and the Blue Jays are on the board. Right down the line, out of the reach of Sandoval.
Now Donaldson picks up his 49th RBI of the season. A big hit for the Blue Jays with 2 outs. Right down that third base line. Not much room, but right over the bag. The dive by Sandoval. He can't knock it down. And Travis comes in to score the first run.
Josh Donaldson, the leading vote getter in the American League right now for the All-Star game, and just doubled in the first Blue Jays run of the night. Now Jose Bautista. In the air to deep left center field. Back and caught. Onto the warning track for De Aza. Good running catch. Had to go a long way. Bautista's out. Blue Jays on the board. It's now 3-1. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Three to 1. Red Sox have the lead. Blue Jays getting on the board in the bottom of the 6th inning with a run. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Kia. As Liam Hendricks comes into the game now for the Blue Jays after 6 innings from R.A. Dickey. 29th appearance for Hendricks. 2-0. 2.67 ERA. 36 strikeouts, 6 walks, and it's hitting at 227.
2 impressive numbers there. The 6 walks and the 227 batting average against.
He has been working 7th innings. This is in the air down the left field line and foul.
That fastball had to look like it was 105 miles an hour after the knuckleball.
Sandoval sore in between innings. The trainers were checking him out. I don't know if he injured himself on the dive.
Probably was the dive on that ground ball down the third baseline.
It was his shoulder that was the problem. This was in between innings. Masai Takahashi checking him out. Fully extended there on the dive. Little pop-up foul ground. Long run with a shift on for Donaldson, and he'll make the catch. Basket style. He went to the crowd last week. This one he runs down and makes another great grab.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know how Donaldson got to that ball because it was not that high. He's in the shift, and he's still able to make the catch against Leon. This guy has really, I mean, he deserves to be an all-star. There's no question about that. Look at the ground he's going to cover. He takes a piece, see how much room he's got, goes into the slide and makes a basket catch up against the wall.
The Toyota play of the game right there. And the first out of the 7th inning. Jackie Bradley with a grounder towards Travis at second base. 2 down. Bello able to keep the foot in the bag for the second out. Here comes Mookie Betts.
One more look. Look at Donaldson's playing. He's over at shortstop. And look how much ground he's going to cover to get to this ball. And he's got heads up right away, looking at how much room he's got. I mean, that's a very impressive play to be checking out how much room you got and also follow the baseball.
He's a guy that's used to having a lot of foul ground, especially in Oakland.
Yes, that's an excellent point, Don.
Two down in the 7th inning. Mookie Betts has struck out. He's singled and tripled in this game. Nothing against Brett Laurie, but the Blue Jays did pretty well on that deal.
Big upgrade. Huge upgrade at third base.
In the dirt, and again getting nicked up was Russell Martin. He's been tagged a few times in this game.
A couple of times with foul balls, a couple of times with knuckleballs in the dirt.
All part of a night's work. Down the right field line and foul. Stay tuned following WB Mason Extra Innings Live, a Red Sox final presented by Uno's. TC Eck and Steve Lyons will preview Eduardo Rodriguez's start against the Blue Jays. In the air to left field for Mookie Betts. Ryan Goins will have room. Shy of the track, he'll pull it in. A 1-2-3 7th inning for Liam Hendricks. 7th inning stretch, 3-1 Boston. So far, 6 innings, 4 hits and earned runs. Xander Bogaerts 1 for 3 with a 2-run double. Mookie Betts in the game 2 for 4 with a triple. R.A. Dickey on the hook as he departs after 6 innings. And Josh Donaldson has driven in the Blue Jays' lone run. Edwin Encarnacion leads it off for Toronto. He has popped out to first, grounded out to third, 0 for 2 in the game.
Red Sox infield goes into a shift. Now 3 infielders on the left side. Napoli about halfway between first and second base. And the outfield shading him to the opposite field.
It's a strange look. Center field off the bat of Encarnacion. Back goes De Aza. And Betts look out. Mookie makes the catch. De Aza at the last possible second get out of the way.
That had disaster written all over it, but Mookie Betts taking charge, calling for it as he should. The center fielder and De Aza, he wanted it, but he just peels off like he's supposed to. And the last possible second, I guess.
One out in the 7th inning. And some big swings from Bautista to end the 6th. Encarnacion for the first out of the 7th. Both outs. De Aza caught the ball in the 6th, and Betts without a problem here in the 7th. Sharply hit here though by Colabello into left center. He is going to put the brakes on and has got himself a 1-out single.
Take a look at how the Red Sox have scored tonight. First, Bogarts with a double to drive in 2 runs. This coming in the 3rd inning. In the 5th inning, it was Mookie Betts with a 3-base hit. The ball runs all the way to the wall. And with the infield in, Brock Holt with a little pop-up that's going to drop in to give the Red Sox at that time a 3-0 lead.
It's now 3-1. Tying run at the plate in Russell Martin. And hit by a pitch and fly to left. Takes strike 1. In the dirt gathered by Leon. No advance at first base by Colabello.
A little bit of a trip by Buchholz on that pitch. You can see him smoothing out the front of the mound right now. That was a changeup. And a good job by Leon to block that ball and keep the man out of second base.
Fouled off by Martin.
He doubled up on the changeup, and Martin right toward the end of the bat that time hitting it foul.
A small lead at first base so far for Colabello. Two and two. Buchholz with 5 strikeouts, not walked anybody. Throw to first, and Colabello does have to dive back.
A couple steals on the season, caught one time. Excuse me, not caught at all. 2 for 2.
Foul back, fastball that was up at 94. It's Martin now, Pilar next. Full count. Third full count of the night for Clay Buchholz.
Cut fastball away.
Chop towards third. Sandoval will go to second for one. On to first for two. Double play. Turned around the horn to wrap up the seventh inning. Buchholz applauds the effort to the eighth. 3-1 Boston. Your low fare now at Southwest.com. Mazda. Mazda is the KBB.com's lowest cost-owned brand over 5 years. Uno's committed to the craft of pizza since 1943. Your local Subaru dealers. And by the Kia Sorrento. Clay Buchholz through 7 innings tonight and has thrown 87 pitches.
Yeah, no reason for him not to come out for the 8th inning.
Now Hendricks working the 7th inning and back out there to start the 8th inning at a 1-2-3 7th inning. And he'll deal with Brock Holt, Xander Bogaerts, David Ortiz. You have the left-hander up in the pen right now. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Foundation. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. Holtz grounded to short, walked and singled to drive in a run. Picking up his 21st RBI of the year. Foul off to the left, out of play. Crowd of 27,107 on hand tonight. 27,107 for game 1 of a 4-game series. Dickey tonight on the hook right now for the Blue Jays. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, struck out 3, 104 pitches. Hendricks hits the bottom of the zone, 2-2.
He's had a couple of pitches in the exact same spot almost. One's been a ball, one's been a strike. Not taking any chances down there again, so he fouls it off.
called the strike. Breaking ball, and it's on the ground to Reyes. First out of the 8th inning. Tonight, after our Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, El Duncan and Gary Streisky will get you caught up on the latest Bruins trade. That's tonight on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. One out in the 8th inning. Xander Bogaerts got a 2-run double back in the 3rd. A 1-for-3 night. Curveball in there. Oh no, not in there. Inside for ball 1. On a strike now to Xander. For Bogaerts to go the other way. Kevin Pillar, the center fielder, into right center. Rich jumping ahead here, 1-2. Red Sox have left 4 men on base. Blue Jays have left 2. Got the bat apparently at Bogaerts.
Yep, trying to come way inside against Bogaerts, ahead in the count 1-2, and Bogaerts fouling it off. See it better on that angle right there. That does get the bat, and not the hand or arm of Xander Bogaerts. Fouls it off, protecting the plate off to the right. Bogaerts now, Ortiz next. Red Sox batting here in the visiting half of the 8th. Ricks has retired all 4 Red Sox he's faced since coming in. On the ground left side, Donaldson charging in. The throw in time to get Bogaerts. 5-3 on the putout, 2 down in the 8th. Well, John Gibbons has had a left-hander up in the pen, and he's making his way to the mound now. And David Ortiz coming up, and 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Looks like Brett Cecil will be coming in here for the Blue Jays. With 2 outs in the 8th inning, the pitching change from the Rogers Center. Red Sox have a 3-1 lead.
Back at the Rogers Center. And it is strike one to David Ortiz. Brett Cecil into the game here for the Jays, a former Blue Jays closer. It was 28th game of the year, 2-4 with a 5.7 earned run average. The reason he's in here is to deal with David Ortiz, who's had trouble against Cecil. 4 for 23 in his career. At 174. Has homered off Cecil, but finds himself down here 0-2.
Late on that fastball that time for Ortiz against Cecil. Started him off with a breaking ball and back to the fastball.
Swing and a miss. Ortiz striking out. So David will head to the dugout. Thought he might have gotten a piece of that. Does not. And Cecil does his job. 3-1 Red Sox. Three to 1 Red Sox have the lead over the Blue Jays. Last of the 8th inning. Kevin Pillar to lead it off. Clay Buchholz 87 pitches deep into his outing. Gets him here into the 8th. Strike one. Pillar with a double in the 2nd inning. Grounded out to first baseman Mike Napoli in the 5th inning. In the air to right field. Jackie Bradley Jr. waiting on it. Makes the catch for the first out of the 8th. That's tomorrow at 6. Don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud. Available at Men's Warehouse. TC Eck and Steve Lyons to preview Eduardo Rodriguez to start against the Blue Jays. Bounce back against them. Of course, tough outing last time out against Baltimore. Tommy Lane and Matt Barnes up in the pen for the Red Sox. Zawa not available tonight. Because of all the work that he's gotten recently, John Farrell wanted to stay away from him if possible tonight, and that appears to be the case. And
Buchholz coming up huge in that category. Not only allowing 1 run, but going deep into this ball game.
Devin Travis slaps it foul. Two hits tonight, a single to right and an infield hit to short. On the ground up the middle. Bogarts to his left. 2 down. considering not only has Taz got a lot of work lately for the Red Sox, but he's had his troubles against the Blue Jays. A 7.88 earned run average against Toronto. And start to think about it a little bit, maybe getting into his head. You can't stay away from him for all 4 games, though.
No, I don't think so. No, I think he'd be available tomorrow night if needed.
Yep. 2 down. Looks like Deanna Navarro going to pinch hit here for Ryan Goins. Goins had been 0 for 2. As Navarro takes strike 1. 24-87 as a pinch hitter. Does have 3 pinch hit home runs. Breaking ball in the dirt.
Not too many curveballs from Buchholz in this game tonight. Few and far between.
Behind Navarro, 2-1. Or fly to right. Travis grounded to short. 2 outs here in the 8th inning for Buchholz. They agree on the fastball away. And it's to center field for Mookie Betts waiting out there. That'll end the inning. A 1-2-3-8 for Buchholz, who's through 8 with a 3-1 lead. Love to grab some insurance here. Pablo Sandoval leads it off, and a swing and a miss for strike 1. Brett Cecil got the final out of the 8th, striking out Ortiz. Begins the 9th on the hill for the Jays. Pablo 0 for 3 in the game tonight. Down the left field line, foul.
There's Sandoval's strike zone earlier in the ball game. Still can't get over. He swung and made contact on that pitch and put it on the ground. That was against the knuckleball, R.A. Dickey. There's another high fastball.
According to Elias, Jerry, that was 5.1 feet in the air, and it is the highest pitch it's made contact on in the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. Highest from the ground.
Well, he had to go on his tiptoes.
In the air to left field. One down in the ninth. Time for tonight's T-Mobile game-changing performance.
5 strikeouts tonight for Clay Buchholz. He got Reyes in the first inning on a changeup. Then it's a fastball to Donaldson for a strikeout. Alabello, a fastball inside. And Colabello again on a changeup.
Fly ball to center field. Caught out there by Pilar. 2 down.
That game changer kills me. It's like like I'm out of sorts when I have the game changer. It's a great sponsor, though.
2 down here in the ninth. Alejandro De Aza coming up here. Moreau retired now by Blue Jays pitching.
How many pitches does Buchholz have?
Clay has 96.
96. I would leave him in.
I would too.
Unless there was a man reach base.
Okay, so the Red Sox have had 5 pitchers go 8 innings this year. You know how many have gone a complete game?
None.
0. Fly ball left field. Carrera going back onto the track. Leaps, can't catch it. At second base, De Aza now heading for third. Throws going there. De Aza will be safe. A triple for Alejandro De Aza.
I tell you what, you can't ask for more than what De Aza's given you since Hanley Ramirez has been hurt. There's Carrera going up, leaping. Nice effort by the left fielder who just came into the ball game. But De Aza slowing down around second, and then sees that he can go to third base again, making that decision on his own, and gets in with the head first slide. The ball rolled quite a distance away from Carrera out there in left field.
Now Leon going to try to bring him in here with 2 outs in the ninth. And a swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Ball and a strike. Leon tonight has struck out, grounded out to first, and fouled out to the third baseman Josh Donaldson. And a great running catch in the 7th inning. Hit by De Aza, the first hit against a Blue Jays reliever in the game now.
See some very effective breaking balls since coming into this game. He threw a couple to Ortiz, a couple here to Leon.
For 12 pitches, 11 for strikes. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Leon to end the inning. Red Sox lead. De Aza third. We'll see if that's costly. We head to the bottom of the ninth. 3-1 Boston. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Bottom of the ninth inning, it's Koji time. The Red Sox on top 3-1. 30th appearance for Uehara. 2-3. 3.12 earned run average. 16 out of 18 in save opportunities. 30 Ks to 6 walks. Opponent sitting at 222 against Uehara. Buchholz leaves after 96 pitches and 8 innings. Reyes takes strike one. Getting word from John Frill that he was done. 96 pitches, 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, didn't walk anybody, struck out 5. This one fouled back. 0-2 to Reyes. 1 for 5 in his career, 2 Ks against Uehara. Reyes tonight 0 for 3 in the game. Strikeout, 2 flyouts. Uehara getting his 16th save of the year and 2nd of the series yesterday against Tampa Bay. Win an inning, a hit, a strikeout. Going to get his 3rd save of this trip. Two and two.
Having trouble with the last 2 splitters. 3 and 4, well out of the strike zone, bouncing into home plate. Here's the splitter down, bouncing well in front of the plate that time.
Talked about it yesterday. Uehara allowing 8 runs in non-save situations, but 1 earned run in 14 save situations. Full count now. Had been ahead 0-2. Reyes, Donaldson, Bautista, anybody gets on. Encarnacion. As tough as it gets. Popped up, foul ground. Sandy Leon's got a play, and he makes it for the first out of the ninth.
Now that's what makes Uehara so tough. You know, he bounces 3 split-fingered fastballs. So you think as a hitter on a 3-2 count he's going to come with the fastball, but he doesn't. He goes back to the splitter again and had Reyes off balance. It was not a strike, but he didn't expect that at all.
One out in the ninth. Josh Donaldson 0 for 4, 3 Ks against Uehara. Double and an RBI in the 6th inning for Donaldson. And a fly ball foul off to the left. Let's take a close look at tomorrow's starting pitchers. It's Eduardo Rodriguez against Marco Estrada. Rodriguez trying to bounce back after the loss against the Orioles. Closer look brought to you by FWF. Selection, expertise, solutions. More at FWF.com. One out in the ninth as Josh Donaldson's down on the count 0-1. 0-2.
That might be the best splitter he's thrown so far in this game. That was a nasty one. The bottom falling out of this. It starts out high, but look where it finishes.
Donaldson lifts it in the air down the left field line. Diaz, a long run, will get there. Alejandro Diaz with a good long running catch for out number 2 of the 9th inning.
Well, Diaz on a step back, then he decides to come in, and he's got the speed to catch up to it. Ball drops in. It's going to be a 2-base hit. Instead, Diaz plays it into the out.
2 down in the 9th inning. Jose Bautista the batter. 3 for 10. Those have 2 home runs off Koji. Strike on the outside corner. Tomorrow at 6:30. Don't miss Game Day Live, presented by DCU. The one pitch coming up to Jose Bautista. Popped up left side. This should do it. Xander Bogaerts underneath it. Red Sox win. Uehara has a 1-2-3 ninth inning. And the Red Sox take the first game of this 4-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Red Sox have now won 3 of 4 games away from Fenway Park on this road trip. And tonight, Tom Caron, Clay Buchholz, outstanding. 8 innings, 1 run as he picks up the victory.